back, everybody. As you've just seen, we are rolling on to the next round of refinishing and renewing all the old parts. Gonna try and get the entire brake setup refreshed today. As you just saw, I was pulling apart the front calipers and working on the pistons for them. Just cleaning up corrosion and making sure the bore and everything is good, which I got lucky they are. The old stock ones are a little bit worse for wear, but I can probably get a season out of them, so we'll use them for now and upgrade to stainless brake pistons later. Next, I'm gonna move on to stripping the calipers, getting them all down to bare aluminum, and then cleaning them up and painting them. Probably gonna go with red. It was the only stuff they had available. If I don't like it, I'm gonna strip it again and go over it with flameproof matte and then see how it looks. So I'm gonna keep rolling along. Not a lot of time to talk today, so gonna keep wire wheeling and scrubbing. All right, well, it is much later in the evening. I'm getting ready to throw the gas tank back in the car. First refreshed part to go back on the chassis. Pretty stoked. The brakes turned out wonderful, except for a spot that I got a little thin right there, but I managed to get the Subaru logo to come out nice and true. So I shot that with some clear coat. Everything's nice and dry now. The rears are still on my makeshift drying rack over there, but pretty happy with that. So turned out pretty good. This stuff's pretty good, not gonna lie. All right, so next on the agenda is getting that thing in the car. So I've just cleaned up the straps. I'm gonna find the bolts that are over there. Use a little motorcycle jack to kind of get it up into place, and then I'll do some knee dangling and whatnot to push it into place, and then we'll hook up the lines, bolt it up. Now that I'm in the mood for putting on new stuff, I got these stainless braided brake lines from guess they're stop techs, are gonna replace the rubber outer lines. So I'm just working this fitting loose right now. And came off kind of without a fight, which is nice. So I'm just gonna pull this one out. And then it's just a matter of sliding the new one in, throwing on these clips. And then once we get everything back together, we got fresh brake lines. We're gonna have a little bit more firmer pedal feel and a little more heat resistance. So should be decent. All right, well that was pretty easy. Stainless lines are installed front and back, pretty straightforward. There it is, new brake lines. The gas tank is in the car, which just looks absolutely mint, except I'm stupid and some of those wires dangling over there actually need to get plugged in to the fuel, to the fuel pump. So I'll unstrap that side and try and get at it from the interior access plate tomorrow or something, I don't know, but for now I'm just going to leave it and revel in the fact that it's in there. It's all refinished and recoated, all lines are cleared out, and we're moving forward. I'm calling it a night, guys. I'll probably see you in the morning. Later. So as you can see, there's a lot of car parts in the shop. A lot of stuff is starting to show up. I got a lot of stuff to unbox today. It's currently Monday. I worked super early this morning for a couple hours. Didn't have to do much, got out of there. Ran to the border, picked up a clutch and a header that I ordered with the clutch line. So that's gonna be the first new parts going on the engine. I think my flywheel showed up, but I did not order flywheel bolts. So I might have to go source some ARPs or something down from Lordco. As far as the brakes are concerned, they turned out really well. Really happy with the finish and the fact that the Subaru lettering is like nice again. So they should hold up pretty well to the abuse. And I got the formula down for coating them if I gotta redo them in a year or two, which I probably will because they're gonna be pretty beat on. I gotta start unboxing all this crap and then we'll do a little bit of show and tell. Yeah, start bolting stuff on. All right, close the garage so when all the neighborhood dogs start freaking out, I don't ruin my audio. Okay, I'm gonna unbox kind of everything that I got. First though, I'm gonna get rid of the screen because it's distracting me. I believe, first thing I got here, just gonna move my paint out of the way. I'm gonna say this is the flywheel. I'm gonna have to go through, I'm gonna have to find a bag for all of this. And anyway, what do we get for a magnet? Ooh, a Mini Cooper. I'm not gonna need that, that's a good shot. All right. Actually, I'm gonna use that box. Oh, what's this? Oh, got an O2 sensor in there as well, sweet. Use that box for the packaging. Awesome, oh yes! I was like, shit, I didn't order flywheel bolts. Came with some. Perfect. All right, pretty straightforward. Stock replacement unit, a little heavy for my liking, but is what it is. It'll have a good pedal feel. And then of course it came with an Exity pilot bearing for the end snout of the transmission to go in the back of the crank. Sweet, well I'm pretty damn stoked that it came with flywheel bolts. I was worried I was gonna have to wait for those. It's already out of the box, but I'm gonna show you anyway, because I like you guys. Also, take this moment and share this with your friends. Rolling up on 500 subscribers. I don't know, maybe it's gonna pass by this video, but if it hasn't, tell your friends, because then you get to see cool stuff that I get. Like this ACT clutch from our friends over at Rally Sport Direct. I've used them plenty of times for GC parts. They always ship fast, everything's always good quality. So anyway, there's the clutch disc, a single sprung disc. Apparently this clutch has a little bit more firm than stock pedal feel, which I'm okay with. I don't really feel like dangling this too precariously, but I will show you. There is the clutch, the pressure plate, and the clutch housing itself. Pretty straightforward. It's just a single disc, so you know everything will be sort of OEM spec, but these are made to, I think, to handle like 500 foot-pounds of torque, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So that's our ACT clutch, or ACT. I don't know what the hell the name actually is, but I'm gonna leave that in the box for right now. All right, there's the clutch portion of our program. O2 sensor, like I said. I'll show you this one next. This one's pretty exciting. Oh, this came actually last week, and I did already open it, but it is a bitch to open. There we go. This one I'm pretty stoked about. I know we have a Garrett 3076R, but I don't want to be waiting all day for my turbo to spool up, so I got this cute little guy. This is a Molly stock replacement turbo. It's a TD04. Comes with everything. It's an internally actuated gate, so that's going to stay well out of the way of our master cylinder, which is the big issue that I would have had with our 3076. Actually, if I can compare them. So as you can see, packaging wise, we have this thing, and the master cylinder comes out right about here. Or sorry, the brake booster comes right about there, the master cylinder is right about there. Would not be ideal, which is why I'm going with this setup, because honestly, it's just gonna work a lot better packaging wise. We're still gonna get tons of boost. The car, these turbos, they can, you know, they can make good power with injectors and intake and bolt-ons and all that stuff, which we're gonna have all that. The one problem I'm gonna have is I need to find an intake that's gonna fit, because the intake I have is for that little guy right there. So, yeah. Anyway, new Molly turbo. Don't let me forget that I have to pre-lube it before it goes in the car. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is an OEM release bearing for the clutch, because, like I said, these ACT release bearings apparently squeak and disintegrate and just cause generally a bad time. So order an OEM replacement. That was recommended on all the forums and everything. Just better safe than sorry in this case. So leave that there. What magnet we got this time? Ooh, it's an LS400. Sweet. Next, this side up, we got a Fragile. Fragile with the magnet sticking out. Oh yeah, 72 split bumper Camaro. Perfect. I love those cars. God, gonna hit you with it. Hitting you guys with those. Completely forgot I ordered these. So my fender liners were completely toast. I did not install the old ones very well. I got one replacement one. I did not install it very well. This is the lower tray. That's actually the duct that if you want to hook up to your brakes and everything, that would be the ducting that goes in the front bumper. So it sits underneath the car. This is actually the passenger side, so it would be over there, which the car actually never had one of these on the passenger side. I had to make one out of like ABS sheets for rallycross, so happy to have that. I thought I ordered, maybe not. I thought I ordered the main fender liner as well, but I don't have a box of it. So this one I'm pretty excited about. As you can see, the box says CSF. I was a little biased picking a radiator. I went with CSF because I listened to Overcrest podcast. This is the reason we're building the car, is we're going on Overcrest Rally. CSF is a sponsor. No, they did not give this to me, but I decided, you know, they've got a good following. They've got a good reputation. I want to try it out. So I bought one of their OEM replacement radiators for an 04 STI. Now, I know what you're thinking, Andrew, your chassis is not an 04. Yes, people of the internet, I understand this. Apparently, again, a lot of research involved. You can run GD radiators on GCs. They all have the same mounts and everything. My old one might even be a GD chassis radiator because it's an aftermarket one or an eBay special, I don't know. Let's get this unwrapped. What I like about this, CSF has a really good reputation. They have exploded in the industry in the last few years. And they manufacture OEM stuff, electric stuff, all kinds of different cooling solutions. And I just decided, hey, I'm going to give it a shot. I really like, you know, this is going to be, it's going to be an upgrade from like a stock GC unit, but it's going to stay light. It's probably going to fit. I could actually probably test it right now. See if it fits. I'm going to tell you, you probably can't see me because I'm out of shot, but whatever. Good news, friends. She fits. On that, it's going to fit. The standoffs and everything are the exact same as a GC. So yeah, this is going to be a good addition to the car. All right. 100% leak tested. They leak test their stuff. There you go. All right, this one I'm going to leave the box on the ground because it's big. What's in the box? It's a box. What's in this box? Clutch line. All right. Ready for some pornography? Some partnography? Oh, dude. We might have to come in for a close-up on this one. Bro. Yeah, that's tight. The purity of the Tomei unequal length exhaust manifold or header. Hold on, haven't played one of these in a long time. A little flat, but it'll do the job. Really psyched about this unit. The motor came with an equal length header, which I just did not want, so I decided to spring for a brand new unequal length setup. I was going to go with one that I found on Marketplace, but it was pretty crusty. I didn't really want to roll the dice with it, so I just bought a new one. Again, from rallysportdirect.com. I'm kind of out of space. You know what? I'm gonna leave it right here on the table. I'm just gonna put it right there. Who's in this? Oh, look at that! I didn't know it even came with this. That's cool. Came with the heat wrap stuff. That's pretty sick. And the zip ties for it. Okay, we might have another project. Basically, you take this stuff, throw it in a bucket of water so it's nice and pliable. Use gloves because this shit will make your hands itch like crazy. Throw it in water, soak it for a few hours, and then you can wrap your header in it. And it's heat insulation, so we might run that. Perfect. And the up pipe. I was wondering where that was. This one, that's a little, needs a little bit of tuning, but we'll figure that one out. All right, guys, that's all the stuff that's come in. The other things that are all behind you, there's a bunch of steering parts and stuff that I'll show you when we bolt them all together. Under my feet, I got a couple wheel bearings for the rear hubs, which I'll try and assemble maybe today. What else have I got? Oh, over here. Also picked up these today. These are hard race OEM replacement rear subframe bushings for GC chassis. Replacing these, which is what I took off the car. As you can see, they're a little pooched, a little tired. These are going to take their place. So if I press these in and it's successful, I could probably bolt up the rear subframe today and maybe the rear control arm. So throw some more new parts on the car. But that's key to success. I've been waiting for these for like 2 weeks, so I'm glad they came in. Killer. I'm going to clean up, and I think one of my buddies is just showing up, so we're going to hang out, maybe do some work, catch up with you in a few. All right, well, after a large fiasco getting the bushings in, the subframe is in the GC, nice and fresh, good to go. So a couple of the boys came over to visit, and we hung out for a minute, and then I just started working up on the front, trying to clean up the frame horns to get the color match in, because they're pretty disgusting, and I want to do that before I bolt in the subframe. So as you can see, in this whole area, I think a battery exploded at one point because this was all like rusted and stuff, and there was rust here, a little bit down here. So I've been cleaning all that up with the wire wheel and then scuffing it with Scotch-Brite, and I'm gonna blast it with just some paint that I should kind of test sprayed here. It kind of matches, it'll match enough to do the frame horns. It's kind of under the motor, so not a huge deal. And then I'm gonna blend kind of where that line is on the firewall from there down into the undercoating to match up with the tunnel. So I'm gonna work on that. Getting in all these corners with the Scotch-Brite and stuff really sucks, so you're not missing much, but I will turn this back on when I'm ready to spray it. All right, worked on the engine bay a little bit, as you saw. That was yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. Anyway, haven't been down here since then, but managed to get it all sprayed. It all turned out pretty good. It's not an exact color match. Like, this is like some heavy metallic flake, like paint match stuff. And then you go to the stock color, it's just like a flat gray, but like I sort of blended it up to the top of the strut towers. And I mean, it works. It does what I want it to. It just kind of matches. And then I blended it down to where the undercoating is. So everything looks nice and fresh. I'm happy with it. It's gonna be good enough to receive a motor and get beat like a disgusting Hertz Mustang. Anyway, I also test fitted my new CSF 04 STI radiator. Everything fits. The pegs are a little bit big for the bushings that they sit in down there, so I'm gonna drill out the bushings a little bit. It'll actually sit a little bit lower, and the cap will clear the hood even more, which is nice. I'm gonna stop gawking at this. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna move on to start bolting on parts to the motor. So right now I'm gonna throw the header on. My header came with manifold gaskets. Came with, I don't know if it came with gaskets to the block. Oh yeah, it did. Did it? I gotta look. Anyway, I think it came with gaskets. Has all the hardware and the studs to mount the turbo and everything, and to bolt up the up pipe. I may end up, because I can tell you right now, all I see are stainless studs and those disgusting Allen key bolts. I'll probably just replace it with stainless hardware if I can get something. So I'm gonna pull the motor out, I'm gonna tilt it up, we're gonna bolt that on. Please do not cause me issues. Be nice. It's hitting. Nothing. Oh, just wastegate, etc. Play nice. Sick! Man, I don't think I've ever had like such a vast array of nice new parts going on an engine. All right. We've got the unequal length Tomei header installed with the up pipe. Turbo's just kind of chilling there right now. I'm just checking to see if everything clears. Looks like I got a nice angle to dangle on the oil drain. Okay, so I gotta get that fitting. I gotta figure that out. PT. Anyway, yeah, I'm stoked. Turbo fits real nice. I just need to get a new inlet pipe. This one is way too big Obviously this is the, I guess it's parent or something. And I kind of don't like that they make it to rest on the power steering pump. I know it's not going to hurt it, it's designed to, but honestly I'd just rather have a stock one in there for now. That's pretty sick. Turbo, header, good. Everything fits. Well, that definitely looks wicked. All right, so it is several days later. That last shot was earlier in the week, and I've done a whole bunch more work since then. As you saw, refinished the brakes. I still haven't assembled them because I was short on seals for one caliper, but they did show up. So in the next episode, we will assemble the brakes. I also assembled a strut and mocked it up with the hub. And everything looks good. I gotta get new camber bolts because I misplaced one of them, and I can't remember where those came from, but they do not fit the KYB, so gotta get the proper camber bolts. And then from there, I moved on to refinishing the rear hub and e-brake setup, and I also refinished the brackets and the bolts for the front subframe to pass through the frame horns. As you saw, we tidied up the engine bay, got rid of some rust, gave it a little bit of paint. Everything was kind of fresh, happy with it. Radiator is sort of mocked up and fit. I just got to make some ties to tie it to the front crash bar. No big deal, I got some aluminum I can make that out of. Strut tops needed a little bit of help, so I gave them some POR to clean them up and everything. The rear hubs, I got the old wheel bearings pressed out. That is the last little plate to mount the diff. All of that's been POR'd and like sanded and stuff, all good to go. Everything is a disaster in here. I started working on the power steering rack. I have to finish that. I had a complete fiasco trying to pop bushings out of those control arms there. And those are out, and the new ones are waiting for me at the border, which I have to get tomorrow. I had rear wheel bearings ordered and they came in. They are the wrong size, and of course I cannot return them, so now I have hubs and wheel bearings that I cannot use. These hubs might fit the wheel bearings that are the right ones that are coming. I have to double check with an old one that I have somewhere. There's the press all, you know, it looks like everything's a mess. It's a mess in here, guys. I got to do a hard reset and start getting parts back on the car. I mean, I kind of have started, but really there's just been a bunch of nitpicky stuff that has kind of been like slowing me down. And I think now that I have, you know, all the brakes have new seals on them and everything. I got the new snap rings to hold everything on. We got new hardware for the brake lines. I cleaned up my rotors. They're a little bit like flash rusted and stuff, so I got those ready to go back on. It's, as you can tell just by my explanation, everything's sort of all over the place, but I'm trying to bring it back together and stay sort of motivated and organized and just keep moving forward. But I've sort of been jumping around just trying to get every little bit I can done, just to get to a point that I can bolt everything onto the chassis, be done with that aspect. This weekend I have to send out my wiring harness. I paid iWire their deposit. Got everything set up. We're gonna get a DCCD controller. Got a wideband O2 coming. They're gonna do all the wiring. So when I get the harness back, it's just plug it in, put power to it, and see if we can get it to crank over. Got a lot more parts showing up. There's gonna be a lot more work. I'm gonna try and maybe organize the episodes a little bit better. They're sort of all over the place, but it's just kind of following the work that I'm doing. So I will try to make it a little bit more of a little bit more organized and easier to follow. Thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate you guys watching, subscribing, commenting. Please hit that subscribe button and leave a like. Share this with your friends on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Follow me on all the social medias. I always love talking about cars and GCs and Mustangs and breaking stuff and fixing stuff, whatever. Thanks again for watching, guys. I love you as always. Be kind, drive hard. I will see you on the road. Later.